Let me tell you something. Life will always bring people who test your patience, who push your buttons, who try to make you lose control. You can't stop people from being who they are, but you can control how you respond. The real victory in life is not winning every argument, not clapping back at every insult. It's learning how to be unshakable. See, when you master your emotions, you master your life. Nobody has the right to rent space in your head without paying a price. Today, I'm going to show you how to live in such peace, such confidence, such strength, that nothing and nobody can make you angry or bothered. Understand that silence is power. Silence is one of the most underestimated strengths a person can have. People think power is loud, aggressive, and in your face, but real power is quiet. It's in the way you can stand in a storm and still look unbothered. When you choose silence, you're not ignoring the problem. You're controlling the outcome. The world is full of noise. Everywhere you go, somebody is talking, arguing, or posting their opinions. But silence speaks volumes. When you stay silent in the right moments, you send a message louder than any words could carry. I am in control. Silence is not about being passive. It's about choosing your battles wisely. There's a difference between not knowing what to say and knowing exactly what to say, but deciding it's not worth your breath. That's maturity. People will try to push you into reacting. They know if they can get you emotional, they can control the situation. That's why silence throws them off. It robs them of their power over you. Sometimes your silence is the very thing that makes people respect you. They realize they can't manipulate you. They can't make you flinch. They can't get you to stoop to their level. That's when you win without saying a word. Think about it. Every time you've lost your temper, what happened afterward? You either said something you regret or wasted energy you could have used to build your life. Silence stops you from making decisions in a storm. In silence, you can hear your own thoughts clearly. You can listen to your instincts. You can choose the best response instead of reacting impulsively. Silence gives you space to see the bigger picture. The truth is, not everyone deserves a response. Not every insult deserves your defense. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Sometimes you've got to let people talk themselves into their own trap while you stand still. Silence also gives you the upper hand in negotiations, conflicts, and relationships. When you don't rush to fill the space, you let others reveal more than they should. People are uncomfortable with silence. They often give away more information than you ever asked for. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that silence is not weakness. Weakness is when you let someone else dictate your emotions. Strength is when you can control yourself regardless of what's happening around you. When someone attacks you verbally, they expect to see you react. They expect the eye roll, the raised voice, the sharp comeback. But when you respond with calmness, or don't respond at all, you show them they can't move you. Silence protects your reputation. You'll never have to apologize for something you didn't say. You'll never have to explain words that never left your lips. That's a peace most people will never know. The more you practice silence, the more natural it becomes. At first, you'll feel the urge to respond, to defend yourself, to prove a point. But over time, you'll realize you lose nothing by staying quiet, and you gain everything. Silence also teaches people how to treat you. When they realize they can't get a reaction out of you, they'll either back down or walk away. Either way, your peace remains untouched. Mastering silence is like holding a sword no one can see. You have the ability to end battles before they begin. You can win without fighting. You can stand tall while others crumble under the weight of their own words. Guard your energy like it's treasure. Your energy is your life force. It's the fuel that drives your dreams, your relationships, and your decisions. Yet too many people spend it recklessly, pouring it into pointless arguments, toxic relationships, and situations that don't serve them. You've got to start treating your energy like gold, because it is. Think about money for a second. You wouldn't hand your hard-earned cash to a stranger on the street just because they asked for it. So why would you hand your emotional energy to people who haven't earned the right to it? Every time you let someone drag you into their drama, you're making an emotional withdrawal from your own bank account. Eventually, if you keep giving without protecting yourself, you'll be left bankrupt, tired, frustrated, and mentally drained. Guarding your energy doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop letting people drain you without adding anything back. It's about boundaries, and boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. You decide who comes in and who stays out. You've got to get comfortable with the word no. Because no is not rejection, it's self-respect. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to your peace, your health, and your future. Some people are like emotional pickpockets. They sneak into your day, steal your joy, and leave you wondering why you feel so heavy. The moment you learn to spot these people and protect yourself, you'll notice your life getting lighter. Guarding your energy means being selective about your environment. If the room is full of negativity, gossip, and bitterness, you have two choices: change the atmosphere or remove yourself from it. Either way, don't let it infect your spirit. You can't afford to give your best energy to your worst distractions. Every time you waste energy on petty conflicts or meaningless drama, you have less to invest in your real goals. The truth is, not everyone can go where you're going. Some people will pull at you, drain you, and slow you down without even realizing it. Protecting your energy might mean letting go of people you love, but who are bad for your growth. Guarding your energy also means watching your own thoughts. Sometimes the biggest energy thief isn't other people. It's the negative conversation you have with yourself. That's why you've got to feed your mind positivity daily. Don't forget, your time is connected to your energy. The more time you waste on things that don't matter, the less energy you'll have for things that do. Stop showing up for every argument you're invited to. Guarding your energy is a form of self-love. It says, I value myself enough to protect my peace. It's not selfish, it's survival. You can't pour into others if you're running on empty. When you start guarding your energy, you'll notice your circle getting smaller, and that's okay. You don't need a crowd to feel fulfilled. You need a few solid people who energize you, inspire you, and push you forward. You'll also find that when your energy is protected, your creativity flows better, your decisions get sharper, and your happiness becomes more consistent. That's because you're no longer wasting mental space on nonsense. Protecting your energy is about deciding that your peace is priceless. Once you make that decision, you'll stop letting anyone or anything rob you of it. You'll start living life on your own terms, with a heart full of joy and a mind full of clarity. Learn the art of letting it go. One of the greatest skills you will ever master is the ability to let things go. Most people are carrying so much emotional baggage that they can't even move forward in life. They are dragging around anger, grudges, disappointments, and old wounds that are weighing them down. Letting go is not weakness, it's freedom. The truth is, some things are not worth the mental rent you're paying for them. You keep replaying the hurt, the betrayal, the insult over and over, and all it's doing is stealing your joy. Letting it go means deciding you're worth more than that pain. People think holding on makes them strong, but often it's the opposite. It takes more strength to release something that no longer serves you than it does to cling to it out of pride or habit. Letting go is not pretending it never happened. It's acknowledging what happened, learning from it, and then refusing to let it control the rest of your life. You're not erasing the past, you're releasing its grip on your future. You have to understand that not everyone will apologize. Not everyone will admit they were wrong. If you're waiting on an apology before you move on, you're giving someone else the keys to your freedom. Sometimes you've got to forgive people who never said I'm sorry. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is for you, not them. Letting go might also mean letting go of the need to be right. That's a hard one because pride will tell you to keep fighting, to prove your point, to win the argument. But sometimes winning means walking away with your dignity intact. There are things you're holding on to right now that are blocking your blessings. You can't receive new opportunities when your hands are full of old problems. The sooner you release them, the sooner you make room for better. The art of letting go is about trust. Trusting that life has something better for you. Trusting that you don't have to control every outcome. Trusting that what's meant for you won't need to be forced. The more you let go, the lighter you become. You stop overthinking. You stop reliving the pain. You stop expecting people to be who they've already shown you they are. Some people will only ever exist in your life as a lesson, and that's okay. Letting go doesn't erase the lesson. It just frees you from the burden of carrying the hurt along with it. The hardest part of letting go is that it's not a one-time decision. Some days, the old memories will come back. The emotions will rise again, and you'll have to choose, again to release it. That's why it's called an art. When you master letting go, you gain control over your emotions. You stop being a prisoner of what other people said, did, or didn't do. You start living from a place of peace instead of pain. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to stop letting something toxic define your life. It's choosing you over the chaos. Once you learn the art of letting go, you realize you never really lost anything. You simply made space for something better to enter your life. See the bigger picture in the heat of the moment. It's easy to get caught up in what's right in front of you. Someone says something that offends you, and your emotions flare. A small inconvenience happens, and it feels like the end of the world. But if you step back and look at the bigger picture, you realize most of these moments are tiny blips in the grand story of your life. The bigger picture is your vision. It's your long-term goals. It's your purpose. When you live with a clear sense of where you're going, you don't waste time getting tangled in the weeds of petty drama. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week, in a month, in a year? Most of the things we stress over won't even cross our minds a year from now. When you understand that, you stop letting temporary situations create permanent scars. Seeing the bigger picture gives you patience. You stop reacting to every provocation because you know your mission is too important to be derailed by small distractions. You keep your eyes on the prize. You've got to train your mind to zoom out. When you're too close to a problem, it feels bigger than it is. But when you take a step back, you see it in proportion. You see that it's just one scene in a much larger movie. Think about a painter working on a massive canvas. If they only focus on one small corner, they can get frustrated because it doesn't look right. But when they step back, they see how that corner fits into the masterpiece. Your life is the same way. The bigger picture also helps you choose your battles. Not every hill is worth dying on. Some arguments are simply not worth the time, energy, and emotional toll they take on you. When you see the bigger picture, you become more strategic. You understand that sometimes it's better to let something slide so you can win in the long run. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The bigger picture reminds you of what really matters. Your health, your peace, your loved ones, your dreams. When you remember these priorities, the small irritations lose their power over you. One of the reasons people get angry so easily is because they're living only in the present irritation, not in the future they're building. When you fix your focus on your future, you naturally rise above the noise. The bigger picture will also help you forgive faster. You realize holding a grudge only slows you down, keeps you stuck in the past, and diverts your energy from your real goals. You have to remember that life is full of seasons. This problem you're facing might just be a winter. cold, harsh, and uncomfortable. But spring is coming. That perspective keeps you calm when others are losing it. Seeing the bigger picture requires faith. Faith that everything you're going through is working together for your growth, even if you can't see it right now. When you focus on the bigger picture, you stop chasing temporary wins and start building lasting success. You start making moves that benefit your future, not just your feelings in the moment. The bigger picture allows you to live with a sense of peace because you know that one bad day, or even one bad year, doesn't define your life. You're playing the long game, and that changes everything. Train your mind to stay calm. Calmness is not something you're born with, it's a skill. And like any skill, it has to be trained, practiced, and sharpened over time. Too many people treat peace like it's a mood, but real peace is a discipline. The mind, just like the body, responds to training. If you feed it chaos, it will produce chaos. If you feed it peace, it will learn to operate in peace. That's why you've got to be intentional about what you allow into your thoughts. One of the most effective ways to train your mind to stay calm is to pause before reacting. That pause gives you the power to choose your response instead of letting your emotions take the wheel. Calmness is not the absence of problems. It's the ability to remain steady in the middle of them. Life will always bring challenges, but when your mind is trained, you don't let the waves toss you around. Just like a boxer trains for a fight long before they step into the ring, you have to train for the moments that could trigger you. That means practicing patience in small annoyances so you're ready for the bigger tests. Daily habits matter. Meditation, prayer, journaling, deep breathing. These are not just trends, they're tools. They strengthen your mental stability so that when life hits hard, you don't crumble. You also have to pay attention to your environment. You can't train your mind to be calm if you're constantly surrounded by chaos. Protect your space, because what's around you eventually gets inside you. Training your mind also means controlling your self-talk. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't handle this," or "this is too much," you're programming your brain to panic. Speak peace into your own spirit. Calmness also comes from preparation. Many people stress because they live in a constant state of reaction. When you plan ahead, stay organized, and anticipate challenges, you remove much of the panic before it even arrives. Another part of training is learning not to take everything personally. When you stop seeing every inconvenience or criticism as an attack, you free your mind from unnecessary battles. The more you practice calmness, the more it becomes your default setting. At first, you'll have to catch yourself before reacting. But eventually, staying calm will be second nature. A trained mind doesn't deny emotions. It manages them. You can acknowledge anger without letting it explode. You can feel frustration without letting it control your actions. Calmness is magnetic. When people see you stay composed under pressure, they trust you more. They see you as a leader. That's why training your mind isn't just for you. It impacts how others respond to you. In this world, everyone is trying to push their urgency onto you, but you don't have to absorb it. You can choose to move at the pace of peace, even when everyone else is rushing and panicking. When you train your mind to stay calm, you're not just surviving life, you're mastering it. You're no longer a slave to every mood, every provocation, every storm. You're in control of yourself, and that's the highest form of power. Stop taking things personally. One of the fastest ways to lose your peace is to take everything personally. The truth is, most of what people say or do has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of who they are, what they're going through, and how they see the world. When someone snaps at you, it's easy to feel attacked. But often, their words are coming from their own frustration, stress, or insecurity. You just happen to be in the line of fire. If you carry the belief that everyone's actions are about you, you'll be on an emotional roller coaster for the rest of your life. You'll be happy when people treat you well and crushed when they don't. That's giving strangers way too much control over your emotions. You have to understand that people's opinions are shaped by their experiences, not your reality. Two people can look at the same thing and see something completely different. That's not your problem, it's perspective. The moment you stop needing everyone to approve of you, you set yourself free. You don't have to change who you are just to fit someone else's expectations. When you take things personally, you start defending yourself against attacks that don't even exist. You read too deeply into comments, assume hidden meanings, and waste energy trying to decode someone else's mood. One of the best things you can learn is how to emotionally detach from someone else's behavior. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting it define how you feel. Sometimes people criticize because they see you doing something they're too afraid to try. They project their fear and self-doubt onto you. If you take it personally, you'll start shrinking to make them comfortable. You have to remind yourself daily, their opinion is not my reality. The same person who doubts you today could be praising you tomorrow. It all depends on their mood, not your worth. When you stop taking things personally, you stop living for applause and approval. You start living for your own purpose, and that's where real confidence comes from. Detaching from other people's judgments also makes you less reactive. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to every critic or defend yourself from every insult. You can still accept feedback without absorbing negativity. Growth is about learning from what's useful and letting the rest slide right off you. Not taking things personally is also an act of self-protection. It keeps you from carrying unnecessary emotional baggage. Life is heavy enough without picking up extra weight from someone else's bad day. The more you practice this, the more resilient you become. Someone can throw shade your way, and you'll just smile, knowing their darkness has nothing to do with your light. When you truly master not taking things personally, you live untouchable. People's words no longer shake you, their moods no longer dictate yours, and your peace becomes unbreakable. Decide that peace is your priority. Peace doesn't just happen, it's a decision. Every single day, you have to decide whether you're going to protect your peace or let the world snatch it away. The problem is, most people haven't made peace their priority. They've made pride, ego, or the need to be right their priority. When you decide that peace comes first, everything changes. You stop arguing just to prove a point. You stop chasing validation from people who don't even respect you. You stop putting yourself in environments that drain your spirit. Making peace your priority means you're willing to walk away from anything that costs too much of your mental, emotional, or spiritual health. No relationship, job, or opportunity is worth your sanity. Peace is not about avoiding problems. It's about facing them with the right mindset. When your peace is solid, you can handle challenges without letting them shake your foundation. You can't buy peace. You can't fake it. You can't borrow it from somebody else. You have to create it and protect it for yourself. And once you have it, you'll guard it like the most valuable thing you own. Because it is. Prioritizing peace means saying no. To some people you care about, that's hard but necessary. If someone constantly brings chaos into your life, you can love them from a distance. When you live for peace, you stop feeding your ego. Ego says, I need to win. Peace says, I need to be well. And when you choose to be well, you win in ways your ego could never understand. Choosing peace also means controlling your schedule. If your days are packed with obligations that leave you stressed and exhausted, it's time to start cutting back. Peace requires space to think, breathe, and rest. A peaceful life doesn't happen by accident. It's built by intentional choices. You choose what to watch, who to listen to, and what to focus on. Everything you consume either feeds your peace or steals it. When peace is your priority, you become less reactive. You don't feel the need to respond to every message immediately, to jump into every conversation, or to solve every problem that comes your way. Peace allows you to hear yourself clearly. In the noise of life, it's easy to lose your own voice. But when you protect your peace, your thoughts become sharper, your decisions clearer, and your spirit lighter. People may not understand why you don't engage in every argument anymore. They might think you've changed, and you have. You've decided your mental health is worth more than temporary satisfaction from a heated exchange. The more you make peace a priority, the more life will align in your favor. You'll start attracting calmer situations, better people, and opportunities that match your energy. Peace also makes you more powerful. It's hard to control someone who is already in control of themselves. When nothing can shake you, nothing can stop you. Deciding that peace is your priority is the ultimate act of self-love. It's saying, I choose me. I choose my well-being. I choose to live a life that feels good on the inside, no matter what's happening on the outside. You've just learned something most people go their whole lives without mastering: how to live unshakable. The truth is, you can't stop people from lying on you. You can't stop them from criticizing you. You can't stop them from trying to push your buttons. But you can stop them from winning, and you do that by controlling yourself. Life is too short to spend it angry. It's too valuable to waste on being bothered by people who don't even matter in the grand scheme of your life. You've got dreams to chase, people to love, goals to reach, and blessings to walk into. And the only way you're going to get there without burning out is by guarding your peace like it's priceless. Silence when you could speak, patience when you could explode, wisdom when you could act reckless. These are not signs of weakness. They are proof of strength, because anyone can get angry, but it takes a truly powerful person to stay calm. Every day you have a choice. Will you let someone else's bad mood dictate your day? Or will you hold your head high and keep walking toward your purpose? That choice will determine the quality of your life. And remember, your peace is not up for negotiation. It is not for sale. It is not something you hand over to every person who comes along with an opinion or a problem. It's yours. Protect it, guard it, live in it. So from this day forward, walk like someone who refuses to be moved by nonsense. Stand like someone whose foundation is unshakable. Speak like someone who knows that silence can be the loudest voice in the room. And live like someone who values peace over everything else. Because when you master this, you don't just win arguments, you win at life.